The New York Knicks could be without star guard Jalen Brunson for the next 10 days due to a sprained ankle. Brunson has been fantastic for the Knicks this season before suffering the injury on November 12th against the Orlando Magic. ESPN's Shams Charania first reported Brunson's diagnosis of a Grade 1 ankle sprain. He was subsequently ruled out for the Knicks' NBA Cup matchup versus the Miami Heat on Friday. According to Stefan Bondi of SNY, coach Mike Brown is unsure if Brunson will be with the Knicks for their upcoming 5-game road trip starting on Monday in Miami. Brunson suffered the injury late in the Knicks' 124-107 loss to the Magic at Madison Square Garden. There were 2 minutes remaining in the game, and the game was out of reach, so it was baffling for some people to see the star guard still on the court. The 29-year-old guard still made 2 free throws before exiting the game and going back to the locker room. He finished with 31 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists on 10-4-23 shooting from the field. He was averaging 28.0 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists for the season. Mike Brown defends decision to keep Brunson in game against Magic. The New York Knicks were on a 5-game winning streak when they ran into the Orlando Magic on November 12th. They didn't just lose their first game of the month, but they also lost Jalen Brunson to injury. Brunson's situation might have been avoided if coach Mike Brown had pulled him earlier since the game was already decided with less than 2 minutes left. In an interview with Ben Krimmel of SNY before Friday's game against the Miami Heat, Brown explained his decision to not sit Brunson despite being down by 16 points at the 2-minute mark. He was also trying to win the game, and they couldn't do it with Brunson on the bench. "I'm trying to win the game. A couple minutes left, stop and 2 threes, and it's a 2-possession game. And that's all I was trying to do is win the game. If I feel like our guys are still being competitive and still trying to play the right way and win the game, and I feel like there's a chance, then I'm going to try and win the game," Brown said. If Brunson doesn't join the team on the 5-game road trip, that means his return could be on November 28th against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Knicks will face the Heat, Dallas Mavericks, Orlando Magic, Brooklyn Nets, and Charlotte Hornets in a span of 10 days. OG Anunoby joins Brunson on injury list. The New York Knicks played valiantly in their first game without Jalen Brunson on Friday in a 140-132 win over the Miami Heat. The Knicks received a massive push from their bench, with Landry Shamet scoring 36 points and Jordan Clarkson dropping 24 points. Josh Hart added a triple-double of 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. However, the contributions from those 3 players happened because OG Anunoby suffered a left hamstring strain in the first quarter, as per ESPN. He's considered day-to-day, but those kinds of injuries are tricky to recover from. The New York Knicks lost their 5th game of the season on Monday, November 17th, falling to the Miami Heat 113-115. When speaking to the media after the game, Miami sharpshooter Norman Powell detailed the team's plan heading into the night. The emphasis was winning the closeout. That closeout battle is huge, especially when they got Shamet and Clarkson and McBride. They got quick triggers, Powell said via Zachary Weinberger of Clutch Points. So, it was winning those closeout battles, being a step closer, making them put the ball on the ground instead of having to be able to lace it up. Powell continued. "I mean, they still got, I'm going to say, get 36 threes. They did a good job. I think 25% is good. It made it tough for them. But that's that mentality we have to have defensively, making every level of the offense for the opposing team difficult. I thought we did a great job of imposing our will defensively." New York is yet to win on the road, with its loss to Miami the 4th road defeat of the season. If Mike Brown's roster is going to emerge as a contender, it must find ways to win in front of opposing fans. The Knicks take a lot of threes. Powell's comments make sense. Under Brown, the Knicks have risen to 4th in the NBA for 3-point attempts per game. They're also 9th in the league for three-point percentage. Therefore, focusing on impacting shots on the perimeter is a wise choice, especially for the Heat, who have multiple lengthy defenders to pinch and help plug the gaps. Miami's defensive strategy held the Knicks to 25% shooting from deep. The Knicks went a collective 9 of 36 on the night. Jalen Brunson's absence was certainly felt, as his presence, scoring, and movement could have been a difference-maker against the system Erik Spoelstra put in place. Nevertheless, Miles McBride deserves some credit, as he finished the night with 25 points, including 5 makes from behind the three-point line. Knicks Mike Brown pinpoints issues from loss. During his post-game press conference, Knicks head coach Mike Brown detailed some of the issues from his team's latest loss. "What a game," Brown said. "I thought for the most part both teams played really hard. I thought tonight we didn't touch the paint and spray it as much. They did a good job staying with our shooters throughout the course of the night, but it allowed us to get to the rim at times and finish offensively. There was a little stretch there in the fourth where we didn't really execute." Brown continued, "We as a team have to be better with our execution, especially in tight ball games throughout the course of 48 minutes, but at the end of the day, most of the looks from the three-point line I'll take any day of the week." The Knicks will look to get back in the win column when they're back in action on Wednesday, November 19th, when they face off against the 4-11 Dallas Mavericks. The Miami Heat have been playing the last few games very shorthanded. Tyler Herro has not played yet this season, Norman Powell was dealing with a groin injury, and, perhaps the most notable, Bam Adebayo has been out with a toe injury. Adebayo has not played since November 5th against the Denver Nuggets. That was the game he exited early with a toe injury. The Heat received encouraging news about Adebayo's toe after that game, but he is still making his way back to game action. With his return getting closer, Miami has received an optimistic injury update from Adebayo. Per Anthony Chang of the Miami Herald, Adebayo is optimistic he will play on Wednesday against the Golden State Warriors. Right now, he is questionable to return, but his optimism is the light at the end of the tunnel. Heat without Bam Adebayo this season. The Heat have played the last 6 games without Adebayo in the lineup. In those matchups, Miami is 4-2, with their losses coming against the Cleveland Cavaliers and on the road versus the Knicks. In Bam's absence, the Heat are averaging 5.1 more points per game, and they are allowing just 9 more points per game. On the surface level, Miami is better on the offensive end of the court but worse defensively. Competition and other injuries factor into those results, but the Heat struggle to defend without Adebayo's presence in the paint. When healthy, the 28-year-old gives Miami someone to play through in the half court. The Heat want to push the ball and move fast down the court, but Adebayo allows them to slow things down when they want to. The scoring Miami is doing this season is not something that would take a significant hit when the big man returns to the lineup. Defensively, Adebayo is 3rd on the team in defensive rating. He is behind only Drew Smith and Jamie Jaquez Jr. The Kentucky product averages the most defensive rebounds per game on the team, and he is 2nd in defensive win shares. Getting him back on the court will be huge for Miami's defense. Adebayo and other injuries. There are only 2 players on the Heat's injury report heading into their matchup with the Warriors. Adebayo is one of them, and Herro is the other. Herro is working his way back, but he has already been ruled out for the game. It would be a surprise to see Herro in game action within the next week, though. Adebayo's questionable status is something for everyone to be excited about. He is one of the more important players on the team, so getting him back is very important. There is no indication of a minutes restriction when the 6'9" center returns to the court, but it seems likely. Starting Wednesday against Golden State, the Heat will have to play 5 games in 7 days. Adebayo playing more than 30 minutes in all of them is unlikely. Even with a ramp-up period, though, Adebayo will be able to make an impact in the game.